we'll finish with some breath work today, but I was explaining to Chris that we will do a hybrid. So not as gentle as a normal Sunday, not as dynamic as a normal Thursday, but we will do something a little more dynamic to get the blood flowing, maybe create a little energy. And today we're focusing on the Sacral Chakra, so the whole hip area, and where often we hold a lot of blocked energy which comes out as emotion. So the Sacral Chakra also is tuned into things like creativity, joy, happiness, passion, relationships with ourselves and with others. So I thought that might be really nice for us today. Keep the creative energy flowing and clear a little blocked energy. Yeah, that's the goal. So let's start in child's pose today. We'll bring our feet together, the knees at the edge of the mat. And you have your block. If at any time you would like to grab it at the beginning and throughout, I will give you some cues, but go ahead and reach the arms long, sinking the hips back, and slowly starting to melt towards the earth, bringing our foreheads down as possible, or grabbing our blocks and bringing the earth up towards our foreheads. And we'll just stay here for a few moments, settling into the space around us, settling into our breath. And letting the rhythm of our breath guide the practice and the pace of our movements. Noticing the sounds of the space around us, the temperature, the smells. When we notice our minds drift off and distracted, just bringing our awareness back to the body and the breath. Bringing our awareness inwards and using the breath to nourish every one of our organs and tissues from head to toe. I invite you to set an intention for today's practice, possibly thinking of what might resonate with you in regards to the Sacral Chakra, intimacy, passion, creativity, joy, and relationships. Lifting our hands up onto the fingertips, lifting the elbows off the mat. Slowly starting to bring some dynamic energy to the arms. We're going to slowly bring the right arm to our side. And we're going to swoop our left arm up and over our left ear. Slowly warming into a side bend. Big deep breath here. Slowly coming back forward on the exhalation. Bringing the left arm to our left side. And the right arm over the right ear. And we're going to flow through this side to side. Starting to connect the rhythm of our breath with our movement. Again, letting the breath guide our practice. Inhale as we lift the arm up. And exhale as we lower the arm back to the front. Maybe starting to lift the hips up as we float upwards. Continuing to float with the breath, bringing awareness lower into the hips and the upper legs. Finding a rhythm that suits the breath and the body. Using the anchored arm for stability. And adding whatever depth might suit you. Go through 2 more breaths. And then we'll all meet back up in child's pose. Once again, walking the hands out, this time bringing the knees together. Option, of course, is to find the block to raise the level of the ground up to the forehead. Once again, coming up on our fingertips, lifting the elbows off the mat. We're going to float through cat and cow, but pulling ourselves forward and back. So on the inhale, go ahead and pull yourselves forward into cat. Lifting the head, arching the lower back. And go ahead and press back. Cow, rounding into the shoulders. Floating back as desired, finding whatever float might serve you today. Inhaling, lifting the head. Exhale, rounding back into the shoulder blades. Option, of course, to come onto the fingertips. Opening up the abdomen, lifting the heart and the head. Option, of course, to curl the toes under. Loads of options. Just find whatever flow works for your body. Big, deep breaths. And a gentle flow. And we'll do one more. Grounding our hands into the mat, curling our toes underneath our shins. We'll lift up into a floating down dog. So starting with the hips, lifting, pressing the earth away. First down dog, go ahead and pedal the feet, exaggerating the movement, bending one knee at a time, maybe starting to open up the side body, shifting the hips left and right. Finding whatever movement feels good. Now starting to wake up the lower part of the legs through the knees, the calves, and into the ankles and the feet. A little bit of energy running through the whole body now. Noticing the sensations. Two more breaths. And then we'll all meet in a still down dog. We're going to float into a plank, floating all the way through to a plank, and then bending the knees and floating back to down dog. Gently floating forward on the inhale, pressing back up on the exhale. Each time we're slowly starting to work the heels towards the mat. Finding the grounding of our fingertips and our toes into the earth. Moving to the rhythm of our breath. Releasing energy that may be blocked in our hips, our lower back. Let's do 2 more flows. And finding stillness in our down dog. We're going to bring the right leg off the mat, lifting it high, high, high. Opening the hips. Keeping the right leg tall and extended, as straight as possible. If you'd like to try bending at the knee, go ahead, but I want you to feel both sensations. Feel the energy running from the left hand all the way through to the right foot. As we open the hips, rotating them towards the wall. One more breath here. Let's rotate back to center, hugging the knee all the way in through the chest, to the nose, to the forehead, pressing through our upper back, through the heart. And go ahead and plant the right foot down. Yay. Come into a low lunge here. Bringing our blocks to the sides. Good. Pressing into the blocks at whichever height feels good. We're going to lift the chest up, pressing away. Maybe we want to stand them up a bit for the first few breaths. That's fine. We're working into the hip flexor. We want to come a little bit forward off the knees. So using the blocks, finding them wherever it feels most comfortable. Lifting the chest, breathing through, not falling too far, too fast. Being present with any discomfort. Using these moments on the mat to create the resilience and the ability to tolerate discomfort in other moments of life, challenging moments, during stressful periods, knowing that that discomfort will change, and we can always come back to the breath to manage it. Good. Pressing our hips back, extending the front leg, driving it forward, staying high on our blocks to start, lifting the shoulders, pressing the earth away, keeping the front foot flexed, lifting the toes. Keeping a flat back, option of course to lower the blocks or to find the earth with our hands. So long as we're keeping a flat back and we're hinging over the hip, breathing the back of the right leg long. Pressing ourselves forward, coming into a high lunge. So curling the left toes under the shins, lifting the back knee up. We're going to walk our hands out, and we're slowly going to drag that left foot into our chests, into the forehead or the nose, curling it again, pressing into our upper backs. Rounding the spine. Let's extend the left leg back, flexing the foot as if we're pressing the wall away. Inhale, we curl back in. Exhale, extend that left foot back. Inhale, curl back in. Nose to knee. Extend back out on the exhalation. We'll do 2 more like that. Finding grounding in our right foot, maybe pressing the right leg back a little bit more, straightening. Inhale, we curl. Exhale, we press. 1 more. And this time, inhaling, curling all the way in. We're going to come up to standing, so let's drive the toes into the earth. Bringing our left leg at 90 degrees. Keeping that foot flexed, bring the arms all the way up, interlacing, making a Mudrasana. Good. Finding our stillness here. We're slowly lower, hands to heart, but we're going to hover the leg off the mat, keeping the foot flexed. Taking a couple of deep breaths in here, pressing actively the palms together. The left foot is hovering. Finding the inner strength. Exhaling, let's lower the foot back down. Well done. Inhale, we reach all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, swan, diving forward. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, forward fold all the way back up. We'll do that 1 more time. Hands to heart. Take a deep breath in between. And Inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Swan diving forward. Planting the hands, bringing the left knee back to the nose, and then stepping out. Good. High lunge here. We're in our crescent lunge. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up. Reaching tall, elongating the spine, elongating the waist all the way up through the sides, reaching to the sky. Maybe sinking a little bit lower into that right leg. Good. Pressing the earth back with the left toes. Let's reach up on the inhale. And exhale, let's hinge forward. We have our blocks here, modified pyramid. We're up on the back toes, hinging over the right leg. Lowering the blocks at any time that you feel you're ready to. Pressing into the blocks or the earth. And again, breathing the right leg long. Noticing where we may be holding tension in our jaw, our necks, our shoulders. Can we let go of it? Can we let go? Do we need to be holding on to it? One more breath here. We're going to bend the right knee. Moving the blocks to the side, planting our hands. We're stepping back into our single leg down dog. Bringing the right knee back through and reaching it up. Again, go ahead and open up the hips. You know the options, extending the right leg long or bending at the knee. See what works for you. Feel the side body open up and the pattern running from the left hand through to the toes on the right foot. Two more breaths here. Find the length. Bringing our awareness back to the steady rhythm of breath. Good. Rotating back to center. Let's bring the right foot down, coming into child's pose. Knees together, forehead to the mat or to your block, and go ahead and bring the arms back behind us, maybe over the back, interlacing if you'd like to stretch out the wrists a little bit. You are welcome to lift the hands and the arms over the back, rolling the shoulders, opening up the chest, the shoulders, the upper arms, and the wrists. Or finding stillness if that's preferred at this point in your practice. One more breath. And then we'll bring our hands beyond our head, coming back up into all fours. Curling our toes under our shins on the exhalation, leading with the hips again. We come into our down dog. Good. Go ahead and sway left to right. Noticing what's happening in the back of the legs. And once again, finding stillness, we'll do the same sequence on the left side. So lifting the left leg all the way off the mat, extending as long as we can. Opening the hips, rotating open so the hips are facing towards the wall. Finding length in the left leg, bending at the knee as needed, or even just to explore the different sensations of each pose. Checking out what's happening in the left side body from the left hand, through the armpit, through the side, the lower back, through to the toes. Rotating back to center. Let's bring the left knee towards the nose. Coming up on the toes of the right foot, we're pressing the earth away, pressing into our upper back, letting the head hang heavy, chin to chest, knee to forehead or nose. 2 more breaths. Dynamic tension through the whole body, maintaining our presence and awareness, and stepping through into our lunge. Yay for that. Let's lower all the way down the back knee. Reaching for our block, slow lunge. Good. Again, pressing the earth away. We hinge forward. Opening up the hip flexor of the right leg. Rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest. Flattening the back foot if that feels good. Whatever height of block as needed. And again, we're not falling too far, too fast. We're not here to create stress, but to release it. Inhale, we rise up and extend the left leg forward, lifting the toes. Good, flexing the foot again, finding whatever height of block you might need, hinging forward, pressing away, lifting the chest, and drawing the shoulder blades in and back. Good. Breathing the back of the left leg long. The steady rhythm of breath. Let's manage any discomfort. Two more breaths here. Float forward again, back into our lunge. Curling the right toes under our shin, bringing our hands forward, stepping up, and bringing this time the right knee all the way through to our nose, curling the spine, chin to chest, knee to nose. Good, finding our stability. Big breaths in. And on the exhale, we extend the leg. Flexed foot as if we're pressing against the wall. Inhale, we curl the knee back into the nose. Exhaling, we extend the leg. Flexed foot. Let's do 3 more like that. And 2. Finding grounding in our fingertips or the palms of our hands and the toes of the left foot. Good. Inhaling, drawing the knee back into the nose. This time grounding the toes into the earth, the left foot. And we're coming up to standing, bringing our right knee to 90 degrees. Tapping down as needed, of course. We're really working the left leg. Good. Bringing the right knee to 90, flexed foot. Inhaling, hands together. Kali Mojo pistol, optional, of course. Finding that drishti somewhere to gaze at. One more breath. Good. And exhaling, bringing our hands to heart center, lowering the right foot, hovering the ground, like above the ground. 2 more breaths. appreciating the strength of our left leg and the strength of our minds. Go ahead and release the right foot down. Deep breath in. And exhale, sighing out through the mouth. Go ahead and sweep the arms up on the inhale. Palms together. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, heart center. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Planting the hands. Tucking the left knee again into the nose. Inhaling, and on the exhale, we step back into crescent lunge. Planting the toes of the left foot. Inhaling, we reach and rise our arms above our shoulders. Good. Finding stability here. Once again, checking in with what's happening in the hip flexor as we elongate and reach high. Stability in the legs. The hips are forward facing. Let's see if we can lower slightly over the right leg. Good. Inhale, we reach all the way up. Straightening the front leg. Exhale, we hinge forward, modified pyramid. Once again, finding our blocks. Hinging. Pressing our chest through the shoulders. Planting the heel of the left foot if that feels comfortable. Breathing the back of the right leg long. Checking in with the jaw, the shoulders, and the neck. We may be holding tension there. Bending our right knee forward, stepping the blocks out, planting the hands. And let's go ahead and step the right leg all the way back and through. Extended single leg down dog. Opening up one more time. And finding that pattern running from the left hand through the body into the right toes. Bending the knee as desired, or continuing to extend the right leg as long as possible. Extending through the right side body, finding length and space. Good. Inhaling back to center, lowering the right foot. Come on down into child's pose. Walking the hands out, sinking the hips back. Finding stillness or swaying side to side as desired. Taking a moment to reflect on any intention you set at the beginning of the practice, reflecting on the Sacral Chakra. Seeing how we can be more inspired by our movements here today and our breath to release blocked energy. Inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back into all fours. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees under the hips. The right leg, we're going to extend long, flexing the foot. It's a gentle spinal balance with a twist. We're going to bring the right leg all the way over to the side. and lower it. Good, yes. Maybe extend it a bit so that we are centered over top of the knee. And we're going to press ourselves back into a half child's pose. Keeping the right foot firmly planted on the mat. Sinking the hips back towards the heel. Reaching forward and allowing the head to hang heavy between the arms. Gripping the fingertips of the right hand into the mat, we're bringing the left arm towards the side of our body. And much like we did at the very beginning of our practice, on the inhale, we're going to sweep the right arm up over our ear. And then we're going to come back down on the exhale, come over to the opposite side. Inhale, lifting the left arm over the left arm. Lowering down. Inhale, right side. Opening the side body gently. Moving again to the rhythm of our breath. Adding a hip press if so desired. Modified wild thing here. Lowering on the exhalation. Inhaling. Option to hold, pressing the hips up, pressing the right foot into the earth, reaching over the ear. Breathing into any discomfort. Good, one more big breath here. And then we're going to sweep our way all the way over to the extended leg, keeping our hips low. Good. Opening into the inner thigh of the right leg. Option to flex the right foot, toes pointed up. And with each exhalation, we're going to slowly lower over that leg. Rotating our torso over top of the leg, parallel to the floor. Melting towards the earth as the body allows. Not forcing anything here. Checking in with the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, releasing any tension you may be aware of that we're holding unnecessarily. And then let's go ahead and walk our hands back up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. We're coming out of that, coming forward, walking the hands back in front. Bringing ourselves up into our all fours and curling the right knee back in. Let's float our way into a down dog in between to rinse that out. Curling the toes under the shins. Pedaling or finding stillness, whatever feels good and yummy. Maybe even noticing different sensations in each side of the body as we release energy. Good. And we'll float our way back down to all fours. Gently transitioning, the left leg is going to extend back. Flexing the foot, pressing away. And then go ahead and bring the left leg over to the side. Let's find our stability here, and then lower the left foot to the earth, pressing it away. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower back, hips towards the heel, walking the hands forward as desired, trying to keep the left foot planted onto the earth, lowering the head, chin to chest, adding a little spinal traction and neural flossing in the back of the neck as we open the right hip and left inner thigh. Now let's float the right arm back along the side of the body. On the inhalation, we're going to lift the left arm up over the ear, adding a side bend. Exhale, we float back down. And with the opposite arm, we float it over the opposite ear. Finding a flow as we did other side. Our hips in there as desired. Pressing forward, finding grounding of the left foot in the earth. Option, of course, to hold our modified wild thing here, planting the left foot. Arching the lower back, floating the left arm over the ear, pressing the hips forward. One more breath. And we exhale, we lower forward, bringing ourselves over the extended side. Rotating the left foot, toes are pointing up. And then we slowly rotate our torso over top of the extended leg, melting towards the earth, bringing the chest and the head closer to the left leg. Breathing into the inner thigh, the lower back on the right side. Listening to our bodies, honoring the state our bodies are in this moment. Maybe slowly releasing the right arm towards the earth. Noticing where we're holding our tension. On the next inhale, we'll slowly walk our hands in, stacking the vertebrae one at a time, coming back to center, and pressing ourselves back into all fours, tucking the left leg back underneath us. Gentle transition. From here, let's circle around, circling cat-cow, shifting the weight, moving through the side body, sinking and lifting the hips, whatever feels yummy. Let's reset and rinse out. Being aware of the sensations we may feel along the way. Go ahead and switch directions, finding whatever flow feels good in this direction. Letting go of any competition or expectation that we flow in the same way on each side. but rather bringing curiosity and awareness to how we're moving and where we're holding our energy. Back to stillness after we circle around one last time. Good. And one last time, we're going to step into down dog, curling the toes under the shins, deep breaths in, leading with the tailbone, lifting the hips, pressing back. We're going to walk the feet towards the edge of the mat so that the toes are at the edge. The heels are slightly angled inwards. Good. Now walking the hands in towards our feet, coming into Malasana squat. All the way down, sinking the hips down, bringing our palms together, pressing our upper body tall, and just swaying left to right, finding length in our spine from tailbone to crown of head, pressing the forearms and the elbows into the inner thighs. One more time, coming to standing, so finding grounding of our toes into the earth below, pressing ourselves all the way up. Inhale, rising up, pressing our palms together over our head. Then we're going to lower ourselves back down the same way we just came up. Slowly melting our way back through to the earth, lowering our hips, good control. Calm strength, bringing ourselves back in through to our Malasana squat. Good, taking a deep breath in between, pressing our thighs away. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, rising all the way up. Deep breath between. On the next exhalation, we'll lower ourselves back down. Finding the grounding of the earth below our toes, gripping the toes into the mat, and sinking the hips all the way back. Malasana squat. Once again, opening the inner thighs, drawing palms together, the chest through the shoulders, elongating the spine. One more big breath here. And we release out of that, coming onto our butts. We're going to make our way down to our backs. Finish off in some supine poses. Lovely shavasana. Sip of water if you like. And lowering all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time, shoulders and head. Go ahead and bring the feet towards the hips, 90 degrees, walking the feet to the edges of the mat. Knees are stacked above the ankles, and we're going to windshield wiper the legs left and right at whatever speed feels good, depending on how rainy it feels in the hips, how slowly or how quickly you feel like moving. Enjoying those yummy sweet spots we might be holding on to in our lower back, through the hip flexor and into the knee. Bringing awareness to those areas. And hanging out there as long as desired, as we notice the tension and discomfort transition. Maybe floating the arms over our head, adding additional depth to the side body stretch. Let's go ahead and hold on one side, whichever side you happen to be on. Option to bring one foot on top of the other knee, adding intensity to the depth of the stretch. Eagling the legs, as long as we can do so gently. One more breath on this side. And on the inhale, we'll bring the knees back up over the heels. Untwine the legs. Windshield wiper the other side. And bringing the lower leg on top of the upper leg if desired. Bringing our awareness back to the natural rhythm of breath. Steady inhale and exhale. Using our breath to calm our inner being as we activate successfully the parasympathetic nervous system to balance out our automatic and our nervous system. One more big breath here. And then on the next inhale, we bring the knees back up. Unlacing the legs, hugging the knees in towards the chest, wrapping our hands around the shins, curling our head off the mat, tucking our chin into the chest, drawing ourselves up into a little ball. Releasing the shoulders and the head back to the earth. Stacking the feet over the hips, flexing the feet, drawing the toes towards the forehead, and driving the heels towards the sky. Wiggling the feet, circling them around if that feels good. Pointing and flexing. Slowly bending at the knees, bringing the feet back to the earth, extending the legs long on the mat. Finding our final resting pose, allowing the legs to fall open. The lower back assumes its natural position, opening our palms to the sky. We'll finish with a little bit of breath work, taking deep breaths in through the nose, holding at the top for a count of 2 or 3 seconds. Filling the lungs, keeping them full, and then exhaling through the nose at a natural speed. Taking a normal breath in between. And repeating this cycle, deep breaths in, filling the lungs, holding at the top for 2 to 3 seconds. And then exhaling back out through the nose at a natural speed. A natural breath in between. And repeating this. Inhaling, holding. Exhaling naturally. Normal breath in between. Deep breaths, filling the lungs, holding at the top. And releasing naturally out through the nose. Visualize bathing all the tissues in our body. Natural breath in between. Go ahead and follow this cycle a few more times at your own speed. Do one more cycle. And finally allowing ourselves to assume the natural rhythm of breath. As we take this moment to integrate today's practice into our muscle memory, giving ourselves the opportunity to channel the strength of our breath for inner calm and balance, toning the vagus nerve for vagal toning, helping to decrease inflammation, increase our ability to manage stress, our resilience. And reducing our blood pressure at the same time. Taking a moment to reflect on the intention we set at the beginning of our practice. Perhaps changing it for the days ahead as you see fit. And noticing the sense and sensations of our bodies. The mood of the body and how it may have changed from the beginning of our practice. back to the physical being, rolling our wrists and our feet at the ankles. Maybe flexing the calf muscles and the quadriceps. Moving our way up through the hips, the abdomen, the chest, the upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Curling ourselves into a little ball one last time, wrapping our arms around the shins, rocking side to side if you feel that will help you come back to the space around. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll over to one side, pressing ourselves up gently and coming back to the space around us. Any final movements along the way that may feel good? Bringing our palms to heart center. We give thanks for the opportunity to practice together. Namaste.